All right, we are live.
And we are live.
We are live, and of course, you want to introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Ricardo. I am going to be the co-host of Noble Co podcast with Joe. I'm really excited to start this journey with you, my man. I've been looking forward to it. I've been wanting to do a podcast, so I'm glad that you went and took the initiative to start it up, and now here we are. But otherwise, yeah, that's me. Welcome, guys.
Oh, thank you so much, and of course, I'm Joe, and this is my co-host, in Rick, and we've been speaking about it for quite a bit, and of course, just like everybody, we all have the same things that we go through in life, and sometimes you want to speak about it or vent, or actually you want to know how to solve certain things that come up through your life. Just like the simple things, just like waking up in the morning. Do you do you have to literally like psych yourself up? Do you brush your teeth very aggressively? You have to go for a run. We all go through it. We're everyday people, and of course, that's what we're here to just get your feedback, and of course, get free, obtain feedback and provide feedback for everybody.
Yeah, and kind of just share our experiences, life experiences, work experiences. It's going to be a conversation of all spectrums of life. It's not going to be something just one sided. It'll kind of go everywhere. So just bear with us here.
Of course, we're going for just raw and unedited footage. We're gonna try because it's normal, natural, organic. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, I love organic.
So
So
let's go. Go ahead,
yeah,
please.
go for it. Dude. Go.
No, I was just wanted to say, of course, and just wanted to give everybody the date. Of course, today's Sunday, November 13th. Beautiful Sundays. Who loves Sundays?
Happy Sunday, everyone.
So, first things, I just wanted to say, right now, of course, this is the weekend that Wakanda Forever came out, and of course,
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if you already went to go see it or not
Dude,
yet.
no, I haven't gone. I haven't gone to watch it yet. We were actually supposed to go watch it today. We had some guests come over, and that kind of took a back seat, right? But no, I definitely want to go watch it. Although I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I've heard some really gnarly reviews about the film. I'm actually looking at the IMDb website now. It was rated at a 7.5 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes, again, take it with a grain of salt. It is Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is kind of biased with their film ratings. However, they gave it an 84%, which by my calculations, I don't know how well that movie did. So
Do you
uh,
remember what was the last movie that you saw on Rotten Tomatoes and you saw just the review that was like, I don't know, it's kind of like whatever, but then you went to go actually see it and you're like, what is wrong with these people?
yeah,
Do you remember that movie or kind of or not really?
I don't have a specific movie that comes to mind. However, I have come across those situations, especially that's what I'm saying with Rotten Tomato. It's always take it with a grain of salt, just because I don't know who reviews their films and who gives these ratings, but yeah, sometimes they've made some really questionable ratings, and I've gone checked out the film. I'm like, what that scored a 74, or that scored much lower than it was supposed to be, but again, it's a personal preference thing, so it's on a basis to basis situation with people.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
like
crazy.
what that's one of those things like I personally like I remember this still to this day and you can look it up. I don't know if it's the same for
Yeah.
John Wick. So
Oh,
John
okay.
Wick has
Yeah.
had like an 80 or something. And of course,
Really?
and I went to go watch it myself.
Yeah.
No.
That John
Like
Wick's not an 80 for
like no,
sure.
like if you like those type of movies and of course puppies, it's all about a puppy.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't do that for the puppy? And I'm like, yo,
Dude, absolutely. Go to
you know
war
what?
for our dogs. Yeah.
What would you do if somebody tries to hurt your puppies?
It's funny. We always make fun of that when we were watching that film because John Wick was on retirement for a long time, right? And apparently, I don't know if his wife. I don't remember the
The
plot
premise?
of the movie or yeah, the plot, I guess, of the film as far as like what happened to the wife exactly. But I know she passed away. I don't know if it was because of natural. I think it was like cancer related or something to that extent. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that's what it was. John Wick. They couldn't get him out of retirement. No money. Like, hey, we've got these jobs. Like, no, man, I'm out of the game. As soon as they heard his puppy, dude, he literally ripped the floor up out of his house and went to work. Like, I get it though. I get it.
We all can just agree and understand how that happens. I mean, look, don't even don't even try. Once that happened, he thought about it. He's like, you know what? Let's go to keep it together until he just boom.
Yeah.
It just snaps in. And I saw that little piece to everybody that I mean, I really like that that little piece of how we all relate to things like that. Like when something happens really bad or really good, you have to think about it. And because either that's like a make it or break it moment.
Yeah.
So either you're going to do it or you're not.
It's a fight or flight situation.
Yes. And that's one of those things I think, I don't know, the author, Mark Manson, I think it is.
Okay.
From those books of the art, the subtle, I forget the name. You know, that orange book? The subtle art of not giving a fuck or something like that.
Okay.
It's a book. I know I have it. Give me one. I'll get it. I'll get it in a minute.
Okay,
no problem. It's like in my library somewhere. Like, and I think it's right here. You can see it in the shot. It's right there. I know I have it.
Yeah, no worries. It'll come to you.
Yeah, but that's one of those things that it was saying that, and that book says analysis paralysis, and that we're talking about that, how you're thinking about doing things, but then you don't do it, and then until you just snap out of it, and you're like, yo, let's move forward with this, or you're just never gonna do it.
Yeah,
simple as that. But I mean, of course, don't let the reviews push you away from it.
Yeah,
go just with a positive attitude, a positive mind, and of course, I mean, we have like some of the main protagonists in this film. I mean, which is Tenoch, right? I think that was his name.
That's his name. Tenoch Huerta is his name. He's playing Namor.
Yes, and I'm like, okay, they're trying to make us look like a bad guys, or we're not the bad guys.
I was having mixed feelings about that too, honestly, when I saw the initial trailer for the movie. Like the way that they were trying to, like, you know, especially with everything that the way it is. And again, I'm talking about, you know, politics, and I'm talking about everything just in society, how it is, like how brittle and fragile it is. The way that they were trying to make it where it was like black versus brown, I don't know. I had mixed opinions about it, but you know, we'll push past that. Yeah, dude, it looks good. I mean, I thought it looked good, honestly.
Yeah, like, I mean, and of course, I just went for fun before like the trailer came out. I know I watched the trailer. I'm not even gonna lie. I watched the trailer and I would like put on my headphones and I would like crank it up and I watched the trailer, and of course, the sound that they put in it conveys emotion so good that I'm like, wow. Like it's so funny how we react to more than sounds and to visuals. And then of course, when you combine a sound that just makes you feel with something that actually gives you another emotion, you're like, okay. And then there's those videos, I don't know if you've seen the reaction videos to the trailers when it barely came out. There's people crying.
There's people hyped. Yeah, dude.
I was like, well, I mean, I got
it's because it's huge. I mean, it's huge. It's huge not only from a African American aspect, but it's also really good for the Latino community too. Like, think about it. Like, where we actually have someone in a top tier A-listing film, you know, starring in the film, not just as your typical stereotypical role. You know what I mean? Like, this guy actually, as a matter of fact, I didn't know this about that character, Namor. He's actually as strong as Thor. And in some situations, when he's close to bodies of water, he's stronger than the Hulk. So just to kind of give you some context as to how strong this particular character is, I didn't know that until just recently, actually, which I thought was pretty cool. I was like, that's sick.
Didn't know that either at all. I didn't research him too much.
Yeah.
I just went like, you know what, blank slate, blank mind, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, you watched it already?
I did.
Okay, so how do your ratings compare to the ratings that I just gave you? 7.5 and an 84. What do you think? Is that something you would agree to?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much.
Okay.
Very much. It's
okay.
I mean, I don't want to give anything away, obviously.
Right.
But what I can say is that the hype that it gives you through everything, like it's definitely there.
Good,
There's good hype. I don't want. I feel like there's a lot of mixed hidden messages
Okay.
within the film. But
Okay.
again, I don't want to spoil it. We'll come back to this, and we're definitely have to talk when you watch it. We'll we're gonna
We'll
switch
touch back
notes.
on it. Yeah.
Definitely. But I mean, then again, you have time, of course. I mean, I don't know. You got plenty of time. It's early
No,
in the
yeah.
morning.
Honestly, it's funny you say that. I actually was in the restroom and I was actually checking out the tickets, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to see how much the tickets are going for. See what the movie listings or showings are looking like. So that definitely might be something that I can do today.
Yeah, plenty of time. It's only 10:20 a.m. And for anybody that's listening to this, it's early. It's early.
Yeah.
I normally wake up early because I'm just used to it. I mean, normally I wake up sometimes like a weird person. I mean, I don't know how you wake up in the morning sometimes.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. I wasn't an early person at all. Just recently I've made some like really big like life changes, dietary changes. I am all of a sudden, no joke, I'm getting up at like 3-4 in the morning already, like fully awake. And I'm not like, saying it in a sense where like I'm restless or tired by any means. No. Like, I mean, I go to sleep I'm in bed by 10. I'm trying to go to sleep by around 10. And by 4 or 5 in the morning, I'm ready to go. Like, honestly, I could just start getting up and start working out at that point, which is probably the next step that I'm going to try to incorporate into, waking up early, is adding the working out aspect to it in the morning. Become the part of the 5 a.m. club.
The 5 a.m. club. I mean,
that's a goal.
That's honestly like great, because once you get it in, that's it. Like I personally, like when I do the 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. workouts, normally I feel like that's like the hardest part of my day, because I mean, right now it's November 13th. I mean, here in California, it gets cold.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah. It gets real cold.
Like for us, I mean, 54 degrees for me is cold.
Yeah.
I am cold. I mean,
54.
We're used to 75-degree weather year round.
Yeah.
So, that. Okay, this feels good. Just a t-shirt and tennis shoes and whatever, shorts year round. And then 50 degrees comes down and you're like, what do I do? Like, I have to wear like socks, like socks, like thick socks. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm wearing hoodies. Like, I'm wearing a hoodie right now.
Yeah.
And I'm never wearing like my hoodies or.
I'm wearing a crew neck. It's like a crew neck, like spandex material. I don't know what this sweater is, but
it's like because I don't know what's the weather where.
It's cold. It's cold right now. Earlier this morning when I took the dogs out, it was about 45 degrees. 45, and there was a slight wind chill, so it felt a lot colder than 45 for sure. But
cold. That's cold. I'm like. No.
Yeah. No. Once it gets going here, it drops, but way below the 40s.
Oh no.
In some locations, like closer to where my brother-in-law lives, it gets about 30 something degrees. So they get a little bit of snow where they're at,
and of course,
it's only like an hour away. Yeah.
For everybody that's listening, where you are.
I'm in California. I'm in Sacramento, so it gets cold.
Yeah, and of course, for everybody listening, I'm in San Diego, Tijuana. So for everybody listening, shout out to everybody.
Shout out San Diego, Tijuana, Sacramento.
Shout out Sacramento, of course. But I mean, like I said, once you get that part of your workout in the morning, it's downhill, because you're cold, you're tired, or you just don't feel like it. I mean, I normally have like this little routine. I mean, I'll share with you guys. It's really simple. I wake up, brush my teeth, and of course, when I wake up, I'm wearing what I'm gonna work out with.
Oh, okay.
Simple as that. Like, have everything prepared so you're not like, you know what? I can't find my shoes. I can't find my headphones. My phone's not charging up.
Right.
And
it's funny how we set up our own traps to almost make ourselves fail, right? Like sometimes, like you said, like even preparing them the night before, for example, whether it's for school, for work, an interview, working out, taking the steps beforehand to basically just prepare for this event that's coming up. It makes a huge difference. It makes the difference between making it and breaking it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I completely agree. Setting up the night before, like setting up your shoes, your socks, your shorts or sweats or hoodie, whatever you're going to be wearing, your headphones, like you mentioned.
And it works both ways.
Yeah.
So you want to set up yourself for failure? You will set up yourself for failure.
Oh, 100%. Oh, that's easy. What? It's cold? Oh, no. Exactly. Oh, wait, there's a bird outside? No.
Literally. Like,
there's a cloud?
Raining.
No.
It's raining. Oh, no. The traffic. I'm going to be like, No, you're not.
It's
Check the
sunny,
weather.
or like in the summer, oh, it's too hot. I don't want like.
Yeah.
So no, I get it.
And
I
it's
totally get it.
such an interesting thing because when you want to set up yourself a failure, you will fail before you even try because you're like,
Yeah.
no, screw it. But
Yeah.
setting yourself up for success is a completely different monster.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that a lot of people we don't talk about. Like I
Yeah.
know when I have conversations with my friends or friends, we're like, okay, what do you have to do to get this done?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, if for everybody that doesn't know, we're going on a vacation in May.
Yeah, excited for that, by the way.
Carlos, you want to share
Yeah.
where we're going?
May, we're actually going to Oaxaca, and we're going to a resort out there that's called Las Brisas. Las Brisas, hit us up, by the way. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going out there in May. It's going to be a group of us, just family, just like intermediate family, right? We're going to be out there for about a week. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, we're going to be out there for a week, and of course,
About a week.
Brisas, we're not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
So definitely we're going to be out there for about a week. I mean, personally, I've been there for about, I normally go every year. I mean, the weather is amazing. Huatulco, Oaxaca is beautiful. The water's just crystal clear. It's warm. The people are amazing. It's like a town little vibe. So it's not like when you go to Cancun. For everybody that's been to Cancun, you want to go party and just rage out. Cancun is a great place to go, but there's other areas in Cancun where you can just go and relax. There's this place in Cancun, which is technically called Bacalar, which is kind of like very chill, like nature. Some places don't even have TVs. Of course,
Oh, wow.
No Wi-Fi, nothing. For everybody that wants to go, definitely recommend.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to see some pictures, please just Google Bacalar. It's amazing. But of course, going back to just once you decide you want to go somewhere and do something, how quick, how fast did you decide and you switched that like, okay, what do we need to do? What needs to happen?
Yeah.
You want to share what have you been doing to just get to that everything ready, setting yourself up to go and make sure that you're there?
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess that's a really loaded question because preparing for this trip, not only mentally, but also financially, physically, there's a lot of things. And again, I'm taking all these again to just kind of piggyback off of what we're initially saying is preparing ourselves for the future, making sure that our current selves, watch out for our future selves, and future selves can be like, hey, past self, thank you so much for taking those initial steps to make sure that I succeed now. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, I've changed everything. I've changed quite a bit. I've changed my workout. I've actually created a workout regimen, started counting all of my macros, everything from carbs to trans fat, total carbs, total sugar content, all of that kind of stuff. So counting all my macros, changing my sleeping patterns, started looking into the location itself just to see what kind of adventures they have, excursions, which looks like they have a ton of cool stuff to do out there. It seems very private out there, by the way. It seems very, very private. Kind of what you were mentioning, Joe. It seems like Cancun is definitely more for the party touristic side of things, but if you want something a little bit more private, a little bit more reserved, it looks like this is definitely the way to go. So I'm really excited for it. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I've taken a few steps.
You're gonna love it, and that's what I was saying. I mean, once you decide you want to do something, you're gonna do everything in your power to get it done.
Exactly.
You decided, you flip the switch, and you're like, you know what? I have to do this. I have to do that. And of course, I mean, everybody has to get ready. Of course, we all have to get on that level of the financial level. Okay, and that's a perfect example. We're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna plan. Okay, these are how many months we have to do this. We need X, Y, and Z financially. We got to do these changes to make sure that this happens. Simple as that. That's just step one, not even the mental aspect or like the physical aspect, because I mean, I don't know about everybody, but I like normally looking good in my photos when I go on vacation. So I mean, like, when winter comes, which
I think we all do, right?
I mean, everybody who doesn't want to look great in their photos when they're on vacation.
Who wants to be hiding from the camera? That's the other thing too. Like that's a cool subject. What do you do to prepare for a vacation? Like not just this vacation, but in general. Like, do you, like, as far as physically, do you start working out a few weeks ahead of the trip, a few months, a year? Like how far off physically do you prepare for a trip?
Oh man, just again, that's a very good question. It's loaded because I have of this information for I have years. I mean, well,
Okay.
for everybody that doesn't know, I used to be about 360 pounds. I used to be very overweight. I mean, just life choices, like
Sure.
nobody really raises you up to exercise. I mean, I
Exactly.
know in our culture, Mexican culture, American culture, they don't really teach you. Okay, you have to exercise not only for your body and your mind. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to just flip the switch. Once I got to the breaching point of just not being able to actually physically move, I
Oh wow.
literally hurt my back. I was in bed rest for about. I think I was in bed rest for about 3 months. I couldn't move. Like I had to
Wow.
use a cane. I had to have somebody help me just even go and brush my teeth or go to the bathroom, which is horrible. You have to eat like laying down. Not cool. But
And
that's
it's
what I was going through.
yeah.
Yeah. No, no, please go ahead.
Oh, and I'm just saying, like, wow, that must have been hard. I mean, like it's a weird situation where it almost feels like a sand pit, right? Where it's
Yes.
like you're in this really weird predicament where, like you said, you can't move, you can't do anything for yourself per se. But then at the same time, it's like, how can you start getting into it if you can't really move? Oh man, that's
It was
tough.
honestly it was difficult. And of course, I'm talking years back. I'm talking like 10 years plus.
Sure.
So, I mean, you don't know anything and you don't speak to anybody that knows everything. And we're talking about when YouTube was barely kind of like hitting off and have like all these influencers and there's
Yeah.
so much information. Now these days you can literally figure out everything within a week and you
Yeah.
load yourself with information.
Yeah.
And loading yourself with information is one thing.
Hmm.
Acting on the information is the hardest part. It's like the other side of the blade. So, I mean, if you want to get it
Yeah.
done, you start it. And of course, going back to the question, I mean, once I did that switch and I was like, you know what? This is it. I just started moving anything from walking 20 minutes, anything. And then, of course, I started figuring out how can I do a push up? I couldn't even do one push up. Okay. And I know a lot of
Hmm.
us, we were at that point once in our lifetime that you can do one push up
Yeah.
or a squat and there's these tons of things that you can be doing and all these infomercials, machines, and all this.
Hmm.
No, you don't need anything. And of course, going back to the question that you're saying, normally if I want to get ready, it just depends how not good. I want to say how either shredded or
Hmm.
lean or buff or muscular I want to feel because I've experimented with diets. I mean, when you were speaking about macros, I wanted to come
Yeah.
back to that. I mean, I didn't understand macros until maybe like my fifth year in fitness. I was
Okay.
just trying to eat clean,
Yeah.
and what I mean by eating clean is no sugar, no processed foods.
Hmm.
Try to stick with vegetables, fruits, and lean proteins.
Hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Um, I couldn't drink black coffee until I figured out one of my friends that was a bodybuilder told me, you know what, just drink black coffee
Hmm.
and water. That's it. Seltzer water you can add. Just you make sure there's no caffeine in it. You can drink it with your lunch because it makes you feel full. And within 2 months, I started feeling different. I thought it felt weak, but it's because I wasn't eating like any bread, and I was trying to avoid
The carb
pasta.
depletion. Yeah.
Exactly. I just felt a little weak, and but I looked amazing. I looked lean. Like I
Yeah.
started getting like that little 4 pack you get on top. For us
Yeah.
big guys. I mean, I was like, wow, I can't believe how you start looking, but you feel. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like feeling like this. And then I started looking
Yeah.
around, and for this vacation, I will just go ahead and try to look as lean as possible and help and feel good. That's what I'm going for. So right now, I'm only doing body weight for 1 month.
Okay.
I try to stick to body weight the whole week, and
Yeah.
I only do strength training twice a week.
Oh,
So
okay.
like I'm gonna do 3 to 4 movements. About like if it's lower body, I do 10 to 12 reps of something heavy, and I normally just do 5 sets, and that's it. Like I'll give you an example. Yesterday I only did legs, and I went from 35s lunges. I do 10 lunges on each, 10 to 12 lunges on each leg, 35s, 40s, and then I use the 40 and the 50, and then both 50s, and just like that, you scheme it in each hand. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end, I did 2 sets with the 70s, and that's when you're like, okay, you're warm enough, you're ready to go,
Yeah.
your joints are good to go, and you just need strength because I mean, push-ups, squats, burpees, anything, look up Google body weight movements. There's
Yeah.
an
And
infinite amount of weight.
and even for the like the people that are just starting off, you don't necessarily have to go immediately into something like using weights or kettlebells or anything like that. Kind of like what Joe was mentioning. Even just using your own body weight, doing sit-ups, just doing simple push-ups. Even if it's not the conventional push-up, you could do it on your knees just to begin with. There's so many things that you can start with. I think one thing that a lot of people overlook is flexibility, allowing your muscles to really flex. I think a lot of people would gain a great benefit from doing things like yoga, Pilates, with also incorporating into their workout regime. That's kind of what I've been doing. I've been doing yoga, and I've been doing lifting with kettlebells here at home. My local gym doesn't open until the 15th, which I'm excited for, by the way. So
what's the name of the gym before? I'm sorry, I don't want to.
I believe it's called Anytime Fitness. Yeah, Anytime Fitness.
Not
Yeah,
sponsored,
so
obviously.
not sponsored, right? Not sponsored or anything, but Anytime Fitness is going to be opening up here pretty soon. It'll be a nice.
Would you be able, nice enough, to give us a blog about your first day?
Oh yeah,
to that gym?
Yes, I'm actually going to be doing all of that. I'm going to be vlogging basically my entire journey as I'm going to, from the moment I walk into the gym till, from here and beyond. So I'm going to be vlogging all of that. It'd be fun.
That's going to be a super great thing because, nobody knows. It's kind of like when you go to your first day. If everybody remembers that day, or to the people that haven't had this day yet, it's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
You go in there with your hopes up and you're like, okay, and you're scared. I was scared the first time I literally walked into a gym. You see all these fit people and you're like,
oh yeah, it's intimidating. Like, it's intimidating, but that's the thing. We all get hung up on things like that, but at the end of the day, you got to just worry about you. You got to worry about your plan. You got to worry about executing said plan. And I think just showing up. Showing up is step one.
That's it.
Just showing up as step one, and you're already winning.
Oh, absolutely. Just like I was saying, 5 a.m., get it out of the way. If you can't, for some reason, get it out of the way, make time for your day to get it in. It doesn't have to be something crazy. Literally, like it could be
some jumping jacks. It could be jump rope. Oh my God, the jump rope! I just started recently incorporating the jump rope. Man, jump rope is no joke. It's a lot of it's cardio. It's fun. It's you can take it. Too. Yeah, dude, I can't even talk about the mental clarity I've had.
Oh,
like,
please do.
Like for me, like I'm just such. Like how can I explain? Like I'm such an advocate now for like wanting to work out, eating clean, trying to stay away from processed foods, from like bad types of carbs, right? Some people would say all carbs are bad, but the really, really gnarly ones. But yeah, the mental clarity is one of the things that keeps propelling me to keep working out every day. Like there's just something about like when you get after you're done working out, this momentary feeling. Well, not momentary, but this feeling that you get of like this, like that you can think, you can say, yes, that endorphin hit.
You just feel good. You're thinking more clearly, and
you feel like you can take the world on.
Yes,
it feels great.
Feeling good, and that mental clarity is, I think, that we all try to chase sometimes, and it's kind of like okay, this is. We'll save this for another day, but when you drink, you drink alcohol, and of course, I know. I was drinking alcohol. Right now, I'm not drinking alcohol.
Neither am I. Yeah.
Like I haven't been doing it. I think I've only been doing it for a month. Like I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to drink any alcohol. And we're going to try this experiment. And of course, I've been sleeping better. Like my sleep schedule has not been interrupted.
Oh yeah.
I used to wake up at night normally like 3 to 4 times a night. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just try things. But you have to stick with it. That's the difficult part. Stick with it because alcohol is just like a social stimulant.
It's a social lubricant is what Joe Rogan says.
Yes.
It's a social lubricant.
Perfect. That's exactly what I meant. So, we all do it. And for those people that don't drink, hey, power to you. Kudos.
Yeah.
I know I've drank when I was a young person, but of course, right now it messes with you. And of course, if you want to keep motivated and just trying to make sure that you are on the right path that you set for yourself for success,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. And of course, I mean, just I want to look good for the photos. I mean, it's not until what is it? May? I forget.
Yeah, till May.
Something. It's in May, so I mean, plenty of time. Normally, if you really want to look really good, normally it's 12 weeks. 12 weeks will do it, but you have to have a plan. So,
yeah.
I know I want to look good enough that I feel comfortable that I can actually swim and
Yeah.
not like die, because I mean, it's the ocean. You're going to jump in the ocean. You want to swim, feel comfortable. If I
want to
go
make
on
sure
a
your
run-
cardio levels are
exactly.
you know,
I mean,
are up.
and there's lots of walking. I mean, there's
Oh, I could imagine, especially like in the town and having to check out all the stuff that they offer. Oh man, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
You want to feel good, and of course, I mean, it's great. I mean, I don't know the last time I went. Like, I can tell you the last time I went to a place that I walked so much that I didn't really believe it was Disneyland.
Oh, Disneyland. That's the one thing they don't sell you, right? They don't tell you, like, hey man, when you come to Disneyland, it's going to be an immense amount of walking. Like, imagine the time that you walk the most and then add like another 10,000 steps to that. Like,
yes, like,
it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
It's in the sun.
Yeah.
It's tons of people.
Oh,
You're standing up for lines all day. Let's say you get that. I mean, it used to be called Fast Pass. Now it's like a Genie Pass. It's ridiculous. I mean, Disneyland's prices are like getting ridiculous now. Of course, Disneyland not sponsored, obviously. I mean, we're not talking good about it, not bad. I mean, we're just saying they don't tell you. Nobody tells you. I mean, yes, they sell you magic, but you're walking. I think I once went and I think I checked my app. You know that when you're walking and it tells you, oh, you walked about 3 miles. No, it said I walked about 10 miles. And I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it until like I started Googling people, like how much they walked.
Yeah.
And because you're walking from park to park. And if you are like me and like having like really awesome, delicious lunches, I leave it in my car in a cooler. I go back, eat in my car, maybe even take a nap. I've never taken a nap in my adult life going to Disneyland.
I've never done that either. I don't understand why someone would do that, but I mean, I get it. Hey, I'm not knocking you if you need the nap, but I've never personally done it.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
We get there and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go take a nap and then come back. I'm going to take a 20-minute nap.
I'm not much of a nap person now that I think about it. Like altogether, like I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me, but anytime I take a nap, like some people, like I envy the people that are like, oh yeah, I just took like a 15-minute power nap, and like you'll see the difference that it's had on them. You know, like they'll wake up and be like, oh okay, like I'm ready to go, opposed to someone that has been groggy all day or whatever. But for some reason, it makes me like, I don't know. It makes my I guess if I can try to explain it. It makes me feel like almost like my body temperature goes up. Like it almost wants to, like, I don't know. It's something to do with like my body wanting to shut down, but because it's only 15 minutes, it stops the process of my body going into that REM sleep. Right. So I don't know. I just don't like how it feels, but
it takes time. I mean, I know I had to learn because I used to take like, okay, you know what? When I used to work in a very business setting, I would just like, okay, I'm going to go to my car and try to like take some sleep and I'd like not scroll through my phone, you know, like, because we all do it. I mean, we all scroll through our phone or like just trying to kill time and just try to let your mind just stop running. And so I went from an hour to 30 minutes and I found the perfect time. So I set up a timer for 20 minutes and I literally just silence your phone, just cover my eyes with either anything, and you just, that's it. Lights out. Just try to relax. Even if you don't fall asleep, you just try to relax. Just try to breathe. And that's it. And just relax. And that alone is good enough sometimes because you're just trying to relax. And if you don't take the nap, that's okay. But I had to learn how to do that. And a lot of people have told me, I feel groggy. It's because you went over the time. You're not supposed to take full-on naps. And now, of course, I'm not an expert. Of course, so I know there's a couple stages of sleep. Honestly, I know I can Google them right now, but I mean, I'm not going to. I mean, just I know there's a couple steps and a couple, like, you know, when you're falling asleep.
It's like stages. Yeah.
Yes, they're like stages. And you know what? I don't know if it's happened to you. I know that you're like falling asleep and all of a sudden you feel like you're like falling and you're like, and you twitch.
Oh God. It's the worst feeling. But that feeling that you get like that is because your body's about to go into REM sleep. into, because you're still trying to, grasp, I guess you want to call reality, or
Yeah.
grasp to staying awake. That's why you jump like that. But kind of going back to what you were saying a little bit earlier about like trying to get sleep and whatnot. It's super important to get like I just fully understood how important it is to get like quality sleep, not just sleep, but quality sleep, uninterrupted REM sleep. Right. So I just recently started like really paying attention to that. And it's actually, because I'm like starting to do preparing for this trip, and, I went down the workout rabbit hole and whatnot.
You found the perfect excuse to get yourself mentally, like, just more, like, healthier mental state and physical state. And that's like a perfect excuse to use and just switch it.
Yeah.
And like, how long have you been doing some research on this?
Man, I've been going at it now for a few months now. Well, actually, no, I'm coming up. Well, actually, yeah, a few months now, like about 4 or 5 months now. I've been consistently working out, staying to my diet, and I've seen huge improvements, not only in my performance, but physically, which I'm really excited about, really proud of. But, I've got a lot of work still ahead. We've got a few months to go still. Right before the trip, I'm gonna crank it up all the way to 100 for sure. Like full blown. I'm gonna watch my sodium intake like down to whatever that, you know what I mean, like any type of nourishment that I'm putting into my body. I'm gonna be well aware of and what it's for, and if it's not
just say one
for
thing.
Performance, it's
don't go too hard, because once you get to a resort that's all inclusive, you can mess up your stomach.
Oh, right. Yeah,
because I just wanted to give you this one.
You're right.
Because it's happened to me.
Hang tight. I've got one for you. But yeah, no, you're right. Like you could feel almost lethargic because you've ate so clean. You've been eating so clean. Then you go to, something that's not clean per se. And I'm not talking about the hygiene. I don't want to call it the hygiene, but what do you call it? Like the like cleanliness, right? I guess that would be in hygiene.
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about it from that point of view, but just, fatty foods, grease, bacon, things like that. All of that kind of stuff just slows you down. And to go full circle with it, or to piggyback off of that, just yesterday, what was it? Yesterday? No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I was like, dude, I'm really hungry. It was about 8 or 9 o'clock, and I should have known better. I shouldn't have done it. I had a weak moment, but again, we all have the cheap days. So I was like, you know what?
We're humans.
Right. And I was like, you know what, dude, I want to get some pizza. And Marita's like, okay, well, let's order some pizza. But I was like, it's already 8 or 9 o'clock. I was like, I don't know that I should be eating this late, one. And then number two, I shouldn't be eating that. She's like, it's fine. Come on, let's just order it. I was like, all right, let's do it. I'm down. Ended up getting the pizza, dude. I ended up getting Domino's pizza. I hadn't had it in quite some time, so it was super, super good. And again, not sponsored or anything, but I don't know that it was that. I don't know if it was that good or if it was because I had been eating clean, or it felt almost like a treat to me. But anywho, either way, it tasted like heaven on earth. I'm eating it, having a grand old time. The next morning, dude, I felt absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I 100% attest it, not to because it was Domino's pizza, but just in general, kind of like what you were saying, that I was eating clean for such a long time that when I finally had that junk food, my body didn't know what to do with it. It's like, what are we doing with this? And I felt so sick to my stomach, but I immediately went back to my diet the next day, and I went regret. Yeah. Instant regret. And then just immediately went back to, my diet. And so I'm feeling better now.
That's a good point. That's such a good point that you just brought up, because I know it's happened to me. I think I ate I ate a burrito or something like that. And I was eating literally, I will tell you, I was eating only chicken, broccoli, and like half a cup of rice.
That's my diet right now. That's been my diet.
And dinner.
Yep.
Breakfast, you can pretty much eat whatever you want.
Yeah,
for breakfast.
On breakfast, and even then, I've been kind of keeping it light though. For breakfast, I've been doing 2 eggs. I keep the yolk. I know some people just do egg whites. I don't want to go that far just yet. I'm not in a bodybuilding competition or anything like that. Exactly. However, I'm still trying to be disciplined to an extent, right? So I do 2 eggs, and then I do a flour tortilla, some guac on the side, maybe like a tablespoon of guac, and then maybe like 3 or 4 like sliced jalapenos. And I only have those just because they're like 10 calories each, so
And
it's
one
not
of
really
those
that big of a
things that
deal.
it's trial and error. You have to try because you're not going to know. And of
Yeah.
course, I mean, and when I mean trial and error, I don't mean like you do it once and then you're done. No, you have to do it at least a week so
Mhm.
you actually know what's working and what's not. I mean, you have to take weeks. I mean, there's what,
Mhm.
52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So plan them accordingly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to eat this, eat it for a week, see how you feel. If you want to eat this and see how much you weigh, use a scale. Quantifiable, measurable information on yourself
Yeah.
because everybody's different. I mean, you maybe eat yolk and let's say I go with all whites because I need to really watch my fat intake. Then,
Yeah.
I mean, and for everybody that doesn't know about macros, please Google them. For some reason, I'm blanking right now. It's 9 grams. What is it? One gram. How many calories is it in a gram of protein? 9 protein.
Let's see.
Nine protein, 9 carbs, and no, was it 4? For some
Many
reason, I'm
grams
blanking right
of protein. How many grams of protein in what?
now. It's like the macros. You know, like protein is what?
Protein
How many calories
in
in 1 gram of protein? Is it
macro.
4? Protein, carbs, and fats.
It says 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Oh,
Yes,
I see right here. 4 grams. You're right. 0.4 grams per
4
pound of
grams.
body weight.
Yes, so you have to eat like a certain amount, and of course, whoever and this is a rabbit hole that you can go down for days.
Yeah.
Don't go down a rabbit hole for days. Just do what feels right, and of course, and that's it. And coming back to the point, like don't eat so clean that, well, not right now. I mean, you can start eating incorporating just like like treating yourself because you can't.
Sure.
You'll lose it. It's like one of those things that like it'll break your mind. Like,
see, here's the I don't know, man. Here's the thing, though. Here's the what do you call it? The counter argument to that. I don't know, man. I've been on this like really robotic diet now where I've like been just eating rice, chicken, veggies, rice, chicken, veggies. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of my OCD, but because I know what I'm going to eat every single day like that. I don't know, man. I feel great. I know some people like you were mentioning, hey, take it with a grain of salt, adjust it accordingly to your preference. I don't know, man. I like it. I like how I feel. Just eating clean just gives me clear headspace. Like the way I can quantify it for people that are listening, it's kind of like when you live in the city and you try to look up into the sky and you can't really see the stars. That to me is the way I feel when I'm on junk food, quick food, processed food. And like when you go out into when you go camping to the lake or when you go out into the country and then you look up and you can see the stars, that's how I feel when I'm eating clean. Just clarity. You can just see if that makes sense. But
feeling good.
I like it. I mean, some people, adjust accordingly. But
yeah, and it's not for everybody because I mean, hey, if you want to go eat whatever you eat, and if you feel good, that's fine. And that's one of those things that a lot of people, including myself, that sometimes you're just not thinking. I mean, you're just trying to do the quick thing that makes you feel good. Like, like I know I have that craving, like, oh, I really want some ice cream right now. Yeah. Or like I really need some French fries. And for no reason. Like sometimes I'm just like sitting on the couch or like, just relaxing. You're like, what sounds really good right now? Like a cheeseburger.
Oh God.
Like see, nowhere.
Are you like a foodie person though?
I'm not sure if I consider myself a foodie, but I do like trying different things, of course.
Okay. I mean, all right.
I'll eat from a restaurant that has like mixed reviews and I'll try it, but I'm not going to go with the restaurant that has like 3 or 2 or like, no.
Right.
Food poisoning.
Yeah. I mean, you're not trying to live that dangerous.
No. Like, and again, I mean, it's happened. Like that's exactly, I wanted to touch base to the, like if you're eating so clean, or like you're not drinking any alcohol and you go to a resort and you start drinking alcohol and you start eating just like everything that the menu has, and you can eat clean, you can eat really good when you go to a resort. It's just kind of like and they have like all those options because of this resort, there's vegetables, there's grilled chicken, you can eat clean regardless. But me personally, I am not going to a resort and eating it and drinking it all. Yeah, because I paid for it. I'm gonna just all out. Like like chains are off.
Yeah.
Like, let's go for it.
See,
And
this
go ahead, go please go.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna let you finish your thought. So yeah, no, I agree. I like that idea in theory, like just ripping the chains off and just laying loose for vacation. Yeah. I'm gonna try something different this time around. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll still drink, I'll still eat. However, I'm still gonna do it all in moderation. I'm gonna try to keep the clean eating out there as much as I can. And I'm actually gonna work out at the resort. Like I've always thought that's always a really cool feeling. It's kind of like going somewhere to, like, for example, golfing. Like I love golfing. I'm a huge golfer. Like going to like a specific resort to just go play golf. Like for me, it would be a super treat for me to go check out a resort and check out their gym equipment, check out the view. Because sometimes, you know, the architectural interior designers set up these spaces in such a way that almost looks like you're working out in a wilderness or working out like in an urban environment. Like they almost have their own, like their style in the gym too. So it'd be cool to check it out. I mean, if we're gonna be out there for a few days, why not?
Make sure that we work out. For sure.
I'll be there at the crack of dawn for sure.
Like we will go, because normally it's one of those things like, you know what, you got it in. That's it. Just get it for your own mental.
Again,
like,
it's
I got it in.
To go full circle.
Downhill. Everything's downhill. But normally I didn't work out when I used to go on vacations until like a couple years back. And you know what? Let's just get it in. If the gym is available, and of course, when you go to, for some reason, I mean, it's happened to everybody. When you go to a resort or you go on vacation, the gym's empty.
Always. It's always empty. Dead. It's a ghost town in there. It's because everyone's like, dude, I've been working out for like 11 months. I don't want to go to vacation and work out. Right. Yeah.
But I mean, you can tell who goes in there. I mean, and honestly, I mean, there's a Stairmaster.
Yeah.
You don't want to go walk out in the hot sun and be all sweaty. Yeah. Or I get it. Work in the elliptical. It's fine. Just anything. Yeah. Just get something going and then
get your blood pumping and then enjoy your day. See how incorporate that change. See how you feel after that.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, for everybody, of course, I mean, how can we keep track, or when are you going to start incorporating your what time do you normally work out right now?
So right now I've been sticking to about 10 o'clock. So I usually, so here's another thing that I just recently started changing. So I started working out at 10. I'd go from 10 to about 11, and I'd been working out for about an hour every single day. However, now I've been challenging myself to try to cut back on that. So I'm going from 10 to 10:30 now, still hitting the same muscle groups, still tackling all of the compound movements and everything that I'm doing. However, I'm trying to just like really laser focus in so I can get my time back. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, I'll sit there and spend an hour, no problem, hour and a half working out. However, that's an hour and a half time that I could be doing something else, you know, so, or preparing for that next thing. So just like 10 to 10:30. So to answer your question, I start working at about 10 to 10:30.
Yeah. Like that's one of those things. I mean, normally for me personally, I try to get it in like super early, and that's it. Like, you know, you do your routine. Like I'm a coffee drinker. I mean, I drink coffee.
Yeah, guilty. I'm guilty here too.
I drink coffee literally. And I know it's not that great for you. I mean, I normally drink at least 3 to 4 cups.
Wow. Okay.
So I drink a lot of coffee, and like
3 to 4 cups.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of coffee.
I mean, I normally wake up early. Like I'm an early bird. Like I'm up and up like 4:30 to 5. Like between that time frame, I'll wake up like I light, and I'm like I'm awake, and I'm like normally that's it. Like I can't fall back asleep. I'm done.
Oh, interesting.
Like, wake up, like I'll walk my dogs, and then as soon as I walk my dogs, I just come back, make myself coffee, try to hype myself up. Unless you want to do that workout without nothing in your stomach, which sucks, but it's so beneficial for me personally. I'm a big person. I'm a big guy. Like if I work out like fasted, that's a whole different rabbit hole that we'll go into another time, because that's a whole different conversation. And you do that just do it for a month. If you do it for fun, and you're going to see some
huge results,
body composition changes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm very shy when it comes to sharing my progress. Like for some reason I'm shy. Like I don't like,
I think we all are. I think we all are.
Right. And I don't know why. I mean, you know, that's funny thing that, you know, when you think about yourself, when you're in a public place, like you're thinking about like everybody else's mind.
Yeah.
For some reason, like nobody's thinking about you. Like
Yeah.
there might be that one or second, third person that are like looking at you because they really look like how you look, or
Yeah.
like you look kind of funny to them, and you're
Yeah.
like, that's one person out of thousands of hundreds of tens of people. Like we're thinking about our world
Yeah.
being part of everybody else's world sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know why, and I
We,
don't know if how we were.
we're all trapped in this kind of mentality that we're the protagonist in everyone's story. And it's not like that at all. Like everyone's so concerned about their own things. They don't even have time to look at your stuff or like, oh my God, I feel like that person's looking. Maybe not. Maybe they're looking because maybe they're insecure about something that's going on in their personal life. And sometimes
And
we
that's so
interpret
funny
it
to say that.
and we're like, oh my God, they're making, maybe they're making fun of me or whatever. And it's, it's maybe not, that's not the case at all, but
Like we
it
all have
happens.
insecurities, and of course, I mean, we try not to point them out, but instead of like, personally for me, like, you know what, instead of being insecure about something, I'm gonna make it my strong point.
Yeah.
I know when
Like what?
I was young, I've always been a big guy.
Okay.
I mean, I have like I can't think about the top of my head. I have like a chest size of like 56. Like my suit size, I'm just going suit size. For everybody that doesn't know suit size, I mean, please get a suit. If you don't have one, please get a suit. And then, of course, I'm talking to the gentleman and female. Females look amazing in suits as well. I'm a 56 chest, and that's big. That's like literally a blanket size of a suit. And right now, but before I was maybe like a 60, just a big, huge, humongous guy walking around. And you just feel kind of insecure, for me personally. And
Right.
always being like the little kid, being as tall or as big as your teacher, your sixth grade teacher. And let's go the other way. Like I knew people that were always like the small guy, like the tiny guy. And I'm like, nobody even cares. Nobody cares that you're the big or the small person because
they all have their own. Yeah.
They all have their own securities. And if you're, it's all about your personality and it's all about how you tackle life.
Yeah, I agree. It's a perspective that you have on things.
Exactly. Like if you look at it negatively, you're going to get negative everything. What is this called? The Law of Attraction.
There you go.
Like, I know there's a book. I haven't read it.
Yeah.
Regrettably, I have not. But I will. I will read it. And, of course, I wanted to just check with what is the last book or your favorite book so far that you've read?
Oh, man, that's a good one. The last book that I read was some time ago. And recently finished it actually, and it's called The Other Wes Moore. I don't know who published it or who the writer was, but give me one sec. The Other Wes Moore. Give me one sec. The writer, it's actually a New York Times bestseller. It's a great book. It's basically a autobiography. Let me see who the writer is, who wrote it. If anybody knows, let us know who wrote it here. But
please, what is it? What is it about?
So essentially, just to kind of give you a synopsis, I don't want to get distracted over here, but essentially what the synopsis of the book entails is that there's these two boys that basically it follows the life of two boys with the exact same name, which is Wes Moore. And it's all about how our life choices dictate the path that we take, essentially. And these boys, up to a certain point, were the same had the identical upbringings, from going to the same elementary, went to the same middle school, went to the same high school, and then from there, that's when life happens. Predominantly to most of us, when high school ends, we get to this bridge point where we're like, what do we do now? Like whether we continue going to school, we go to the military, we take up jobs, we create families. We get to this fork in the road, so to speak. That happened to these Wes Moore boys, and it's really cool because one of them, without giving too much away, right? One makes a life choice to join the military, and the other one makes not so great decisions, and it just basically kind of just follows their life, and it just really, it's a really cool book because it gives you this perspective of, even if you have two identical things, if bad choices are made, and again, to kind of piggyback off of what we were saying earlier, making the decisions now that can affect your future self and putting your future self in a winning position is absolutely crucial. And that's essentially what it is. Just to kind of just give you a synopsis on it. It's two boys, same name, relatively same upbringings, two different life paths, and it goes from there. It's great. It's a phenomenal book.
Definitely have to check it out. I will definitely have to check it out. Like, I honestly, the last book that I just personally read was Eat That Frog.
Oh, okay.
I just read it recently, not too long ago. I've been trying to read, like, I set myself like to read more. That was like my New Year resolution. You know, everybody we call it.
Of course.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna work out all year, and that's like the favorite one. That's
everyone.
That's like,
new year, new me. Yeah,
new
yeah.
Year, new me. Like, you see them like really pushing through
the January new memberships for the gyms.
That's it. Like, you sign up and
you
go. And
yeah.
Of course, I mean, but going back to the book, I don't want to derail it. It's a Eat That Frog. I don't want to spoil it, but in other words, you avoid doing things that you dislike.
Okay.
And if you do that, you're not going to get what you are trying to complete or do or accomplish. Like, you're not going to, because you're avoiding like that painful or like uncomfortable feeling. So, and that's for everything. Just like, I want to touch back on what you said, you know, when you're in high school or like when you're a child, time goes by kind of slow.
Oh man, super. It's crazy how time was different then, right? Like, and I'm not talking about just like the culture. I'm talking about like your perspective on time, right?
Time is totally different when you're young.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because sometimes I feel like when you're learning something new in general, your time goes slower because you're learning stuff. You're like, okay, you're trying to grasp the understanding of this and trying to figure it out. But when you're having fun, how fast does time go? You
blink and it almost feels like you're trying to hold on to water in your hand. Like it just,
like
it just goes.
Like when you're doing your routine sometimes, and I know, I mean, we're all, victims to this, and in a good way, of course. You're doing your routine and it just kind of flows, but it feels good and you feel great. That's fine. That's completely okay. But it's so funny how just when you're in high school and then you either go from there and you start either working or you're studying or you're doing both. And if you're like me, of course, I studied right out, like way after that. I mean, I didn't start studying or reading books until I was like a full on adult, like maybe 25.
Yeah.
Like, I think I didn't read like tech because, you know, you're taught to read what you should be reading, but they never give you the choice or option. Read what you like, what interests you, what actually grasp your attention. Like, I know that if somebody talks to me about, like, I don't know, like things that really I enjoy, like lately, like a couple years back, I started getting in photography. I always liked photography for some reason. Like, I didn't understand though until I started doing my own research, and you can learn everything online these days.
I mean, everything. Right? You don't have to go to school or anything. You can literally go to take not a sponsored shout out or anything, but you could take like a master class and get one-on-one time with like a professional photographer, you know, leading in the field. So it's a great time to want to learn anything.
Like anything. And because you're learning it, time will slow down and you have all this information. Of course, you have to execute it. And I was trying to learn about photography. I didn't know about like exposure or ISO or
aperture.
None of this until I started like reading about it. And of course, and when I mean reading about it, like you open YouTube and then you like look about it and what are the camera settings and what kind of camera do you need? And there's literally multiverses about cameras.
Oh yeah, you can go down rabbit holes forever.
Oh, I don't even want to get into the lenses or now like the drones that have cameras or the type of cameras that the drones have or how fast they go. Like, I could talk about cameras because I know and I enjoy it.
Right.
I like it. And that's the thing that I was talking about. Like, you read things that you enjoy and you will learn it. So anything that you like, read about it. Get good about it. And sometimes you can actually, I don't want to say you can capitalize on everything that you love, but almost you can.
Yeah, of course.
We live
We live in a
We
day and
live,
age where you can basically monetize anything and make something your career if that's what you're really passionate about. But
yeah.
going back to your book, so what? So
So yeah, pretty. That's what I was saying. I mean, you avoid pretty much things that I don't want to ruin the book for anybody, of course, but to anybody's listening, you it's about like you have to like it's the title of the book is Eat That Frog.
okay,
Like do it and get it done, get it over with. Just move forward,
eat
get
that
past it.
frog. I might have to look that up.
Yeah, like I think it's called Eat That Frog. For some, I might have gotten a letter wrong, or
That frog.
please let us know what is it.
That
Is it Eat That
frog. Yeah. 20 way it. Let me. I think it's this one. Says eat that frog. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating.
Yes.
Oh, I
There
like
you go.
that. Okay.
So, not sponsored, obviously. It's
No,
just
yeah.
one
It's
of
got
my
a
book
great rating, by the
recommendations.
way.
Yeah.
It's got a 93% approval rating on Google,
And
5.5
if you
by
want
Art
to
of Living.
find
So
the
it's
way
good.
I find good books for my taste, it's called, I think, Goodreads.
Oh, okay.
Goodreads. I think it's goodreads.net or .com. Not sponsored again, but I mean that's the way I find books sometimes. Like, hey, you know what? I'm done with this book. I don't know what book I want to read about or learn. And
Hmm.
there's like the like normally I always go for the self-help books because those are my favorite because they're
Yeah.
either if you don't like the whole book, but there's as long as you take one thing out of a book and
Yeah.
you can apply to yourself, done. The
Yeah.
book did its job, and you can interpret whatever information out of a book and you can make it your own. You don't have to take exact words by words, but you will learn something about it. I mean, and I'm gonna read another one soon. I actually have another one. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I mean, I'm gonna read another one. I'll give you another recommendation. And do you have another book that you're gonna read, or you have something in mind, or not right now?
Yeah, actually, I've got one already pre-started. It's called The Origin by Dan Brown. He's the writer that created the Da Vinci Code. What is it? Angels and Demons, which is essentially within that same basically lineage of books and movies. Tom Hanks actually starred in both of those films. So yeah, so The Origin is essentially the like the history behind symbolism and how symbolism is very impactful, and we see it in our everyday life, whether it's advertisement, subliminally, or going to work, a stop sign. It's
What's your
what the
favorite genre of books?
oh right now I'm into a lot of the like self-help books, like like how to like basically just improve yourself from a human standpoint, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally. um so that's kind of where I'm at right now. So just self-help books is kind of
Yeah,
where I'm at.
those
And
are the best ones. Like
yeah.
anything educational that you can use and apply to yourself in your everyday life. I know I got this book a while back because I wanted to get a better understanding. If for anybody that's listening and you really kind of want to get into working out, I recommend uh, the Arnold Schwarzenegger. I
Okay.
believe I said his last name right.
Okay.
It's like the Bible of bodybuilding. Like
Oh, okay.
if you just wanna figure out how to like inhabit, of course, you can find everything online these days.
Of course.
Personally, I like having physical books. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I'm not saying that the internet is gonna go down and AI might take over, which I mean,
I don't know. Elon
did
Musk.
really say.
Yeah.
Elon Musk did say in a podcast that the biggest threat was AI.
Yeah.
And he said it. He straight up said it.
Yeah.
Everybody was listening, and how everybody just started getting nervous, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things that bees are dying and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like for anybody that doesn't know, do you want to care to explain, Rick?
Yeah, no, bees are definitely important. I'm not a professional in this field or anything, but I do know that they
generalize. Just generalize.
I do understand that they're they have what do you call it? They're very valuable in their contribution to flowers, to trees, and without bees, we're not really gonna go that far in life.
Like, in other words, pollinization.
That's the word,
If
pollinization.
if they don't pollinize, nothing grows.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. And
Yeah.
for anybody that doesn't, I mean, I'm not an expert either, but I just wanted to learn about it because I was like interested.
That's cool.
Why,
Yeah.
Why are bees so important? Because they pollinize everything.
Yeah.
They go from one flower, and when they're going into other flowers, they have pollen all over their bodies. So whenever they're like trying to go and get like extract from other from other trees or plants, they pollinize.
Oh,
So
that's
like
interesting.
they
Yeah.
vibrate and like they drop pollen,
Hmm.
and pollen is like the essential chemical that makes everything bloom.
Oh, wow. So
And
again, super crucial. Yeah.
extremely, because okay, if you just look at the food chain, I mean, pollen, plants. If plants don't grow, nothing grows. Animals
We cease to exist
eat.
at that point.
Animals don't eat. We humans eat animals. Apologies for anybody that's into
To all the
veganism.
to all the
You know,
vegans.
apologies. You know, I mean, that's a personal choice. You know, I'm not gonna go ahead and say nothing about that. But that's like the premise, and I just started reading, and I know
Yeah.
there's like a book about it. I haven't
Cool.
read it. Honestly, I just went online and I wanted to learn about it because I was like, whoa, like that is so freaking important. And of course,
That's super interesting. Yeah.
and I was like, I mean, I can't believe how, I guess some of the things that were saying that their bees were dying is because of like the electromagnetic waves.
Yeah, from like cell towers and like all these,
Yes.
all the
5G.
wireless, all the wireless connectivity that's
Yeah.
causing them to die. Yeah, I heard.
It's
I read an
causing them
article.
to, and they
Something like that.
can't figure it out. And um, there's bee farms. There's
Oh
bee
yeah.
farms.
There's actually on my way to work. There's actually one that's just on the side of the road. I always notice the beekeeper going in there, like taking care of the bees and whatnot.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
they literally transport them. I saw a quick documentary on it. Like they take the queen.
Yeah.
So they take the queen out, and the queen is just a tad bigger. And you can tell. I couldn't tell.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like I looked at the video, and I was looking for the queen. I was like, where the hell is the queen? And he's like, oh yeah, it's right there. It's right there. The beekeeper. Oh yeah, it's right there. Where? And then once he like grabs like these little like pliers, like grabs her really gently, puts her in the middle of the box,
Yeah.
and literally bees start like moving from that box to the other box. And
Yeah.
I guess like they release some pheromones
Uh-huh.
that they attract all the other bees. It's insane how you just can move the queen and they all follow.
Yeah.
And like their ecosystem is just amazing. I'm not an expert, but I just find some insects fascinating. Like what's another one that's kind of like that? Ants.
Oh, ants are super interesting too.
Ants are like, I think it was what, 10 or 20 times their body weight that they can carry.
That's wild. Yeah,
And
it's
I
like
was like-
it's like the equivalent of us like picking up a Volkswagen with our teeth.
Literally.
Like that's how strong they are. Like
Yeah,
their body
it's
to what they
insane.
can pick up ratio is gnarly. For
How
sure.
they protect like their colony. I think that's what it's called. They
Yeah.
protect it with their lives at all costs. And there's like what are those called? Like I guess there's like the fighter, like the warrior ants, and there's
Oh,
like
okay.
the nursery ants. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
whoa! I just went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
And
no,
I-
it sounds like it.
just like we just said, I went on the journey.
Yeah.
And I got interested, and that's what
Cool.
happens. And like when you get interested in something, what happens? You're just gonna learn it for fun, and of course, you're gonna just learn. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, and just like I'm bringing this up, like, okay, I just went down the rabbit hole. Can you tell us about something that you learned that you just went down the rabbit hole because you found it kind of interesting, and then you just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna learn about it because it's just fun to learn.
Yeah.
Do you remember what was the last time you did that?
The most recent subject that I've been kind of just like super going down the rabbit hole is just with working out right now. Right now, that's kind of been like the main culprit of my time consumption. I'm just solely focusing on that right now. Also, starting up a business is another thing that's been really, really at the forefront of my thoughts for sure. I think with everything that's been going on, especially with inflation, everything as far as the economy goes, has kind of just been leading me down this path of how can I make more money? How can I figure out a way to monetize something, whether it's merchandise, a service that I can provide, or something to that extent. So that's kind of what I've been.
Is it
kind
still
of just going down the
classified
word.
information on your business, or is it you will release it sooner? You're still working on the plan, or
So right now, as far as what my business plan goes, it's definitely still in the works. I would say I'm definitely a lot closer to publishing than I would have initially thought. I don't know that I would say classified by any means, but it's I'm trying to start up a merchandise line to get that up and going initially, and then from there, I mean, depending on how it goes, we can start outsourcing and moving into other avenues. Again, I'm going to start vlogging documenting my whole gym process. Once we go to the vacation thing, we're going to vlog all of that, of course. Might even be able to do a podcast out there, which will be fun. So there's a lot of things that I'm still working on, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
For everybody that doesn't know and is listening, Mari is Rick's wife. For everybody that doesn't know, shout out to Mari, of course.
Shout out Maritza.
And of course, but that's great. I mean, that's one of those things, and you bring that awesome point that nobody really teaches you how to create a business. I mean, there's business classes, but nobody really teaches you. And I think that's one of the things that's so fun.
And then the hard part too is distinguishing what's clickbaity and what's real. You know what I mean? And especially in this day and age when everything is all about just grabbing your attention for that split second, these thumbnails that I've been looking on YouTube are pretty wild. You know, some they'll promise you, make $100,000 in only like 3 weeks, with these degrees or certificates. Yeah. And it's like, dude, there's such a crock, like, because they know that people are looking for for that quick buck information, that they're just basically just banking on your willingness to click on your clicks. Yeah. But
and you bring that point that it's like, that's literally everybody. Like, I'm sure everybody has like a passion, or they want to start a business, including myself. Like, I've been wanting to start, like, I think a business and forever. And I started like, I mean, I'll share that quick experience with you. I started like Noble Company, of course. And I started with just creating a logo.
Yeah.
Like, creating your logo is like, that's one of the most important things, because that's your brand.
Mm-hmm.
And choosing the font, choosing the color, choosing the background, what's your image, what's your logo, and that's, nobody teaches you that. And you think about what resonates with you. Like, you have to literally just put your personality on a logo. That's you, and that's difficult for everybody, because I don't know, what's your favorite brand that just kind of like, boom, that's like my favorite brand? Do you have one?
Right now I'm kind of balancing between brands besides the Nike, right? But
of course,
I don't have not sponsored by any means, but no, I don't know that I have a particular brand that I'm like super loyal to, just because I'm constantly.
What's your favorite tech brand?
Ooh, tech brand. Ooh,
simple. I'll simplify it for you.
That's an even harder question for me. No, because as far as tech, I mean, what are you talking about? Camera? Oh, camera for sure. Sony. For sure. See? For sure, Sony. I'm a huge fan of Sony. Man, crossing my fingers, I can hopefully get my new camera soon. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that.
Okay, please. I mean, as soon as you get your camera, you're gonna do an unboxing for us.
Oh yeah, dude. I actually want to do an unboxing / I want to do a review on, like, full blown review, like the specs and the what you get in the box and
what
using it
to that you have now.
Right now, I'm currently using a Sony Alpha 5100, which is a mirrorless camera. It's definitely not your run of the mill instant Polaroid style cameras. You know what I mean by cheap? What I mean by that is inexpensive and disposable. But I definitely need something a little bit higher now. I feel like I've outgrown this camera, and I feel like I can do a lot more with this new technology.
Camera, then,
100%. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're in the wanting to like get into vlog or content creation. It's a great camera because you can flip the camera up towards you, and you can point and shoot as you're doing it. It's a great camera. I definitely won't knock it by any means.
I will have to look it up. I can't remember. Great camera. I know you showed it to me last time. Does it have a flip out screen, or does it have one of those screens?
It does.
Move. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sony, see?
Sony. No, yeah. So as far as cameras go, I'm a huge Sony fanboy. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely look into the like Canons or Nikons as well. Leicas are phenomenal cameras for sure. Which other ones am I missing? The camera community is going to hate me for this, but what
How
other
big
cameras?
Is the camera community?
Oh, massive.
I know what's the hype with people using like vintage cameras.
Yeah, dude, of course.
I don't understand it.
It's
don't know
because
why.
it's a different look because of the way that the film, especially if you're using film. Like if you're using film to expose your pictures, you're getting a whole different vibe. Like you can do so many things, especially like when you manually expose a picture, or what do you call it? Develop. That's the word. When you manually develop your film, which I've done as well, like in a dark room,
Yeah.
you're sitting there with all the chemicals and whatnot. You're dipping the paper, and then like you start seeing your image. It's a whole different feeling. It's
Is it?
it's like cooking dinner. It's like cooking dinner versus like a quick in and out food. You know what I mean? Not in and out itself, but just quick
the
fast
process
food.
that people are falling in love with.
I think so.
As well,
I personally
like
think so.
the actual photo, how it looks, like that feel that it gives you
Mm-hmm.
when you look at those photos. Like
It gives you more like a vintage look.
I think we've lost like the way we take pictures now. Like with our cell phones, you take pictures and you take like 10, and you're like,
Yeah.
click, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, which one do I use? And you're like, wait, this one's, my eye is too close on this one,
Yeah.
or like I'm not smiling.
This one's
good
too
enough.
close, or this one's out of focus, or
Yes, and you're like, okay, maybe, and you take out. I guess that I thought that was kind of maybe one of those things that it's like you only have the one shot.
yeah.
I mean, you only get, I don't even know how many you have. Like, disposable cameras. That's another thing that was going on that I saw. Like, people are putting.
Yeah, people are going back to disposable cameras now.
Like, why do you think that everything that we passed
Yeah.
always comes back?
I don't know. I
Nostalgia?
I don't know. I think
Or
it's
just
the
something
nostalgia value / like what marketing is pushing on everyone, especially with like all the social content creators and all the social media influencers. They dictate which direction culture should be shifting into it, and it shifts so fast nowadays. It feels like every week there's a new trend, there's a new dance, there's a new song, there's a new phone to have. It's moving fast. It's moving fast.
Like, when I'm not 100% sure if TikTok exploded during COVID. I'm not 100% sure. Like,
yeah, I'm sure. I don't have those numbers either, but I'm
like,
sure it
I'm new to
probably blew
TikTok.
up as far as users.
I'm new to TikTok. I mean, when my son started sending me TikToks or
Yeah.
like anything like that, I mean, I was watching it, but I'm a victim to this. Like, I was going through like TikTok, and there's like these cooking videos, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
cooking videos rock. And then I'm like looking at like the unboxing of some cameras or like keyboards, or like I recently found this hashtag on Instagram that went into TikTok, and it's about keyboards, mechanical keyboards.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know why it gives me that feeling when you hear the sounds. We were talking about
The
this earlier,
clicky
about
sounds. The
clicky
switches. Yeah.
sounds, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Like, I have a cheap mechanical keyboard, and I'll let you listen to it. I mean, I'll just type in listen to it.
Oh, those are pretty clicky. Those are probably like Cherry MX, probably Cherry Red.
It's super loud, but I mean, I'm not bothering anybody. I mean, of course, I work from home. To everybody shout out to everybody that works from home. So I mean, it's one of those things that's super clicky, but it doesn't bother me at all, and I like it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that like hashtag SAMR, ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR.
And you just go down that, and I went through TikTok, and I was looking at like videos, and it's like, man, okay, I need to stop this. I need to like, don't
you go
use
down rabbit holes, and it's crazy. You'll spend an hour, 2 hours looking at everything and nothing at the same time. So
yeah, and I'm like,
gotta be careful with that.
This, but I mean, we'll leave this for another time.
Definitely.
The keyboard, and I wanted to talk, of course, about your camera, and of course lenses and all that stuff. But I mean, I don't want to. I'm gonna leave that for another time, because that's a rabbit hole that you just
it's deep.
Down. It's deep, and of course, just about branding as well. Like, I wanted to say about we're excited. I'm hyped, and you should share how you're gonna create your brand, your logo, and you're gonna be able to teach people, because I mean, I want to learn.
Man, so I'm gonna be learning, so I don't know how much teaching I can do, but like I'm definitely I'll definitely put it out there.
Like, YouTube has so many great resources, but I mean, I just love how sometimes they're trying to teach things, but they leave stuff out, like crucial things. And I'm like, just be real.
It does happen a lot in videos. I've noticed that, like, sometimes, like, when I'll go into something, whether it's a new hobby, anything, right? I'll go into it, kind of get an idea of what YouTube kind of is offered as far as information, tips and tricks, whatnot, apply it, and then later find out like, oh man, they left out this huge crucial piece of information, or oh, they didn't say this in these videos. And again, that could be because of the way that I'm searching for videos, that it basically filters out what I'm looking for. Anywho, that's a whole other story. But yeah, no, it's interesting.
And of course, I mean, I definitely want to talk about, I mean, I don't have one personally, but I want to talk about drones on our next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know much about it. I definitely want to learn. I mean, I'll come back with another spec, and I'll definitely give you another book that I will be reading.
Okay.
Very much, and please let us know about your book.
Okay.
Once you're done with it.
Yeah, we'll do.
Other than that, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, it's Sunday. Let's go ahead and enjoy it, please.
Let's enjoy.
We need the review. We need the review of Wakanda Forever.
Oh God, I can't wait. No, as soon as I watch it, I'll let you guys know what I think.
Please let us know. And if you go,
what it looks like,
we'll go ahead and you want to share your Instagram hashtag.
So yeah.
Knows that. Please. Do you want us to put it on the caption on the podcast?
Oh yeah,
or
we'll put it
now.
We could do both. We could put it on the caption. Then I can. You guys can find me at The Lone Wolf, and it's spelled TH3LONWOLF. So The Lone Wolf. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything by the same handle.
So everybody, go ahead and follow Rick. We're gonna see if he actually watches Wakanda Forever today.
Yes,
we're gonna see if he watches it today, or
if
not, I mean, throughout the week. For everybody who's watching it, please post. We're going to have a comment section. Please let us know what you think about the movie, because I very much enjoyed it, but I don't want to spoil anything, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Joe, cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for the first podcast. I think it was a great episode. We have a lot to look forward to, a lot to talk about. So thank you guys for everyone that's listening, that took the time to dedicate some time to our podcast. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, very much appreciate everyone for listening in. And we'll go ahead and see you on next week. And of course, we're going to have a series. Of course, that we were just talking about earlier. We're going to have a series it's going to be called Motivation Monday. So look out for that. We're going to try to have that. I feel like Rick will most likely take the honor on the Motivation Monday, first Motivation Monday. We're going to let him do the honors, because, I mean, he has some awesome insight right now. And we need that energy. We need the energy.
We need the motivation to keep going.
Love the drive.
Absolutely.
The drive that you have right now.
We have to propel each other forward. If one of us is lacking, we have to grab each other by the hand and pull each other forward to continue succeeding. Yeah, I agree.
Love it. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Have an awesome week.
Have a great weekend. Have a great week, guys.
Of course, this is Noble Co Podcast logging out.